watching Morning Cafe on TV47 with me, Fred Indemuli. I'm still in studio with Dr. Kanyuithia Mutunga, Kipruto Rapkirwa, and Samuel Poghisio. We continue examining this issue of police brutality, and now the latest statement by CS for Interior Kipchumba Murkomen on that shoot-to-kill order that was issued so casually. But there's another issue, Poghisio, that we've witnessed, is the fact that what Bwana mentioned, the issue of goons in the demonstrations and the link between politics and how the police operate. That politicians may have interests in demonstrations looking a certain way and introducing goons, and how the police are made to work with them. That's an issue, because now we've witnessed in recent weeks police appearing to take a step back and allow some of this negative politics to play out. And the risks involved is what I want you to talk about. Heading forward, if we continue with that trend where police are forced, either through politics or orders from elsewhere, to take a step back and allow goons to take over.
You know, Fred, it's a very sad situation in our country when you seem to link the police, the lawful arm of government, and the unlawful goons together. It even doesn't, it's not even good to have them in the same sentence. Because the police are trained. The police training should be sufficient to deal with situations, by the way. And the idea that if there is a problem, the police must be trained to meet that problem. So if the training is not sufficient, they should just add that aspect to the training, so that even the most rowdy person should be arrested by the police. Even the person who seems to be difficult, the police must be trained to handle whatever situation it is. If it means wrestling him down, using whatever it means to bring that person to a place of being arrested. But to include the political aspect of saying, I have my own goons here, I can send them to you to help you, is to declare that our police need help from goons, from people who are not even trained. And so what happens? Those guys are not trained to handle human beings, to handle situations, to bring calm. So you've seen them use those rungus, whatever, not even rungus, those shafts, wooden djembe things, hitting people, beating a woman, beating a man, beating a young person, helpless, coming to kick, do what, step on their head. That's not the police. The police will not do that. So sometimes politicians add the problems. And so once you have allowed the goods to come in and to work with the police that time have basically been subdued, have surrendered their legal position. And that's not the way they are trained. That is not the way they are trained. The police should be the most compassionate people, and giving a chance for someone to go to court. So yeah, I mean, politicians have a shortcut. Politicians say, I want those guys beaten up. I want that guy's total lesson. But that is not the work of the police. That's why the police have come out now. If you look at the headline there, you'll see police officers have come out to say, no, thank you. We cannot hit our own relatives. They're our friends, they're our family. The police and the citizens, actually, I liked one of them who said, the citizens are not our enemies. Those are not our enemies. So when you introduce those thugs, and then they go home smiling and they come and loot to cover up whatever you've done, you're simply destroying our police. Very well trained, capable. But if they're not capable, train them, retrain them. Bring a modern training, bring them to the level that they require. And I think that's another thing that must be done, is modernize our police. There's enough modern equipment to handle even the most violent person without killing them. If that's what we should be buying, that equipment, bring that equipment, train them on it. You know, I was in the aviation sector And every time the industry is advancing, new equipment is coming, new training is coming. So those guys have to be trained all the time. I think the same thing that the police need to do, that the ministry needs to do, is instead of pay these guys well, give them enough incentives, but also train them, prepare them for whatever situation it is. There's a time of war, but Kenyans are not at war with each other. There are people who deal with that. But my worry is the people who came after the demonstrations were not the demonstrators. They seem to have been released from somewhere. They came and they started whatever happened later. So sometimes the explanations we see around this thing about who did this, you who did that, the issue is our police ready to handle a magnitude of demonstrations? Even if there were riots, still the police should not despair. That we should have enough training for them to handle even riots. That's what I think.
And the National Assembly, what you're seeing from there, Dr. Mutunga, is a blame game instead of any tangible solution to